versus what we don't. And even if we don't have it, we can appreciate it from a distance. Kind of like us. Hi. Hi. I really enjoy this floppa skin someone made. But without further ado, I say we get right into it. So, what I did with this world is set it to permanent nighttime. Just gonna keep the vibe the whole way through. And as scripted as it may seem, I did spawn very close to a village. So what we're going to do is check it out. It seems their farms are a little run down here. They've got very pretty home design though. I will give them that. Some paper, an empty map. Do be wary. I don't play Minecraft that often. As you can tell by me being unable to unload all of the loot from the chest with one button. But I believe that this is a great setting to talk about some very enjoyable things. So, what I have beside me right here is a list of things that I love. And when I read them off and ramble about them, I hope that it can start a discussion of things within yourself that you also enjoy a lot. Now, I say we begin. I'm thinking I actually stay here at this village for now. And maybe I'll chop down some wood. So one of the first things I have on my list is sunsets. So I really enjoy sunsets. I think a lot of other people do too. There's something very beautiful about the way the sky's color changes just from the sun eclipsing, I guess you can say. I'm not sure of the word for it. I'm sorry, villagers, but I'm gonna rob you real quick. But yeah. Always loved them. Oh, I got a full set of armor here. And what that also brings me into is dawn, which is the opposite of dusk. So, often I am not a morning person, still being seemingly nighttime. And do keep in mind, this is before the sun comes out. It always makes my tummy feel tingly in a way. And yeah, I'm not sure why. So what we also get that is unrelated, but funnily enough, kind of related to how it's pronounced, is mourning doves. They are the birds that go, well, I'm not gonna make this out of my mouth, but they're very beautiful birds. Very, very beautiful. The sounds they make are pretty, and I've been obsessed with the videos as of late. They are truly beautiful creatures, and what I always thought was that their name was spelled morning, as in morning time instead of morning, since they make a crying sound almost. And yeah, I can kind of see where the name comes from now. But if you've ever heard like a very excited dove, they sound like the exact opposite of morning. They are. It is exquisite. It is like the most. It's like they're fun. I just hit the jackpot. Sorry. I'm just gonna be taking this. Thank you very much. Hello, Mr. Ironclaw. But yeah, another bird that I really, really like is crows. Now, crows have always been my favorite bird. They've always been around here in Arkansas, at least. And I really, really like all of the sounds they make. And I vibe with their obsession with the rain. Usually in the rain, nothing's out and about, but crows are. And when it's raining outside, and you hear a crow, and they're going, caw, caw. It genuinely makes me wish that I had one as a pet. I would love to hold a crow gently, like a hamburger. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and trade in all of this hay, and we'll see what we got from there. Perhaps you can help me design a building, but this is totally on you. I'm just saying, because I don't know. Alright, you know what? I say we go ahead and build a silly little house. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. We'll do two at a time then. That's okay. Okay. Perhaps we'll get a little modern art going on here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, villagers in this use redstone in this game. But to change the subject here, I'd be very curious to know what is your favorite music. If you have a favorite music genre, perhaps a music artist, I would love to know, especially if it's a more obscure, artist. There's a lot of very, very amazing artists out there that I've just never heard of before, and I think with how obscure and closed in my taste is, I think it would be very beneficial to, get around and check out some other ones. And speaking of which, I'll go ahead and say my own favorite music genre, and that would be signal wave. Now, you've probably only heard that from I'm not sure of his name, I think it's Pat Juddington, but they spoke about it in a video talking about how it's liminal space music, and I can agree to that to a certain extent, but I think it's much further than that. It's like its own aesthetic, and it's a very, very good aesthetic, I think. Hold on, I need to get some more wood. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that modern art up there for them though. They do seem to appreciate it a lot. We've got ourselves brand new wood here. On the topic of wood, actually, what is your favorite tree? Well, my favorite tree is a pine tree. Not because I live all around pine trees, but because pine trees just look very, very pretty. I like long, thin trees, but I especially like the smell of pine. Inside of my truck, I use a pine air freshener, and it doesn't quite smell like real pine, but it does the job, and I quite enjoy it. But I do like all trees. I think another type of tree that I like is willow trees, and the reason I only even know those exist is because of old school RuneScape, and that's another game I really enjoy, and perhaps if you all enjoy this video format, I will definitely make a video like this with some silly little rambling in old school RuneScape. So any comments like that, I highly appreciate. But yeah, going back to signal wave, I guess I can talk a little bit about its aesthetic and what it means to me. And perhaps you can also think about what your music aesthetic means to you as well. But for me, with signal wave, I think that it heavily emphasizes on those very hazy emotions. I'm not sure how else to describe them, but they're very was diamonds. Never mind. False alarm. But and I think that's why I enjoy it so much, is because it's one of the only genres that explains this very hazy emotions that I feel. It's a very comfort genre. And it's always nice to give it a listen. Let's craft ourselves some better tools. I'm not sure why I craft wooden tools like that. Whoops, I picked it back up. That's alright. So, what I'm thinking we do here is... Oh! That was very close. Is I'm gonna first get some coal for torches, and after this I'm going to build a really, really real house, and I think you're gonna like it. For all the people that do play Minecraft, which I know is a lot, what is your proudest building creation? I would like to see it if that's possible. Or just a description of it, really. With the imagination, anything is possible. And that's a good and a bad thing. But in other subjects, another thing that really does make every morning just a little better is a drink called coffee. Now, you could probably say, like, well, you know, caffeine is caffeine. You probably would like Monster as well. You would be totally correct. But something about the flavor profile of coffee itself, the process of brewing it yourself, making it fresh every morning. There's a lot of different ways to get caffeine in your body, but coffee is and always will be the best way, because I really do enjoy the flavor. And now, I have to ask this question. Are y'all tea fans or coffee fans? And if you're a coffee fan, do you drink your coffee black? Or do you drink it white? Or like kind of midway? How do you drink your coffee? Because even me, as a coffee lover, I cannot, within good conscience, drink black coffee. It's usually too bitter for me. And I've tried many different coffees. Black, I still just enjoy it with a little bit of sugar. And I think that's a good way to say that I like life. I don't like it black, but I like it with just a little sugar. It doesn't even need cream in it. As long as I can take my sips, experience just the right enough bitterness, just the right enough sweetness. And I believe that is the perfect balance in life as well. Because in life, we will absolutely all go through bad times. And we will also experience some very good times as well. I think it's amazing being around for those good times. And it's even more amazing when those good times are able to be experienced with you. And I don't even know who you are, but it's very important that you stay around. I've had my thoughts in some points of my life, but I've decided that it's about enjoying the other things in life. When we focus too much on our own pain, it can get very depressing. But when we get to live in a world of suffering with the best people around, it makes everything so much more worth. It really does. Another thing that I love, and I think truly has saved my life, has truly kept me around, is my friends, and especially my best friend, who for now I'll call Mantis. But we met together very, very humbly. We kind of just started awkwardly chatting about Snufkin, which is from Moomin Valley. And really, that was history. And now we talk to each other daily. And the best part about it was that in the eyes of the past, it sounded like something that just wouldn't have had worked. We did have a very awkward beginning, but something that I think we should all realize is that all of us were babies at some point. We're all just grown up kids. So, in saying that, I want you to humble yourself and to set expectations on life that aren't so harsh. Because when it comes to you, and when it comes to everybody else, we are all growing very slowly. But we're learning, and we can only learn obviously. Of course I love video games. But especially games with, I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but games like Atlas, games like Old School RuneScape, games like, games like Dusk. Heck, even games like Minecraft, games like, this is a very silly one, but Straftaft. It's a very recent game that I kind of played as a joke and really fell in love with the very obscure aesthetic of it. And really, the reason why I mention this stuff is that a lot of things in these games, like even web fishing, they all seem very quote-unquote low quality. And the thing about the word low quality is that it doesn't take into account the actual gameplay value of something. So like all of those games, they don't look good in the modern sense. They really don't, and I'll be honest about that. But what they absolutely have is their own style, their own aesthetic, their own charm, and best of all, good gameplay. We love good gameplay. And I don't have much experience making video games, but I've made a few scratch games when I was younger and actually pretty recent, maybe a year ago now. And really, it just takes all your effort in making something feel and play good to make a truly good game. It's very difficult to not think about the visuals, but I think we move on from that in terms of making video games, and we think about how we can make something feel good, make something with its own unique style, and maybe none of that will catch on, and that's okay. Whatever you are making, whatever you are creating with your own bare hands, your mitts, I want to encourage you to please keep making things. Really, a lot of things just will not get popular. Right? They won't. Some things may never get noticed. But what is noticed, and what I can guarantee for you, is your perseverance and the breakthrough just from you being patient. I know what to promise you. That no matter what in life, it is worth it. And that brings me to another topic. What do you do for a hobby? And perhaps, do you have passion for your work or job if you have one? Well, for me, I'm thinking this is a new hobby of mine. Making people very eepy. And I hope that so far I'm doing an okay job at it. But other than that, I do still enjoy playing games a lot. And from that, yes, I am unemployed. But I can only hope that'll change soon. Because for you, I absolutely will try. And if you want to look me in the eyes, I will tell you, I will fail. But failure just means a higher chance of success. Well, in terms of doing something that's supposed to be good for you, that can be very twisted. So right now, it is very, very late for me. But I hope, and I really, really hope that you sleep well when you do. And I really hope that you have a good Nacht. That's good night in Deutsch. But for now, I am going to be hopping off. And I hope that this opened up some perspectives in your own mind. And whatever is on your mind, I would love to hear it. I think this could be a good opportunity for us all to talk about some things that we appreciate in life. Because if it's one thing that I've learned, is that it's always better to appreciate what we do have and not forget about what we don't have, but to put more emphasis on the things that we should enjoy while it lasts, because they won't. And I think that should be comforting in a way that we should just focus on enjoying it while it lasts, without fear of judgment, of guilt, and whatever you're looking forward to in life. I hope you get to it. And I have just one last task for you. I want you to message just go have